Y'all know what it is. It's the usual suspect 650-50 draw. Buy your tickets now for your chance at winning half the pot. Cash App, $, usual 50-50. Tickets are on sale for $10 for one, $20 for 3 tickets, and $50 for 10 tickets. Put your desired amount, name or alias, as well as your email address, and your tickets will be set. We announce the winning ticket numbers every other Friday on Supreme Beats Boxing Talk Bullshitting on the Beltway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC. And remember,
it's a usual suspect day.
Y'all know what it is. It's the Find the Boxer game. Purchase a box for a chance at winning $500. One of 54 boxes has a missing boxer inside. Purchase your box or boxes by Cash Apping, $, usual 50-50. Include your box number, name, and email address. Your box number will be confirmed and sent directly to your email. Each box is $20, with a 1 in 54 chance of winning. Remaining proceeds will go directly to the LDBC meet and greet in Las Vegas. Shout out to the LDBC. And remember,
it's a usual suspect day. Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? It's Stormy B Man, and I am back. Welcoming you to Stormy B Man Live for this Thursday, May 29th, 2025. This is a live to bring into the center forum a discussion about boxing and racism. We are being inundated, under siege, under attack with hate from all sides, external, internal, neighborly, foreign. And it's about time that people learn what's acceptable, what's not, and the penalty to be paid for blurring the lines and causing confusion. Very compelled to speak on this subject because it seems that there are a herd of people who are supposed to be familiar, but behaving very unfamiliar, forgetting the past and those who have sacrificed, made the ultimate sacrifice for some of them to enjoy an assortment of the spoils that they have come to know in their everyday lives presently. This is a call to arms. And it is a call to recognize what's unacceptable and to start to close doors. You know, there's this passage in the Bible where the word was given for people to close themselves up in their homes. Close the windows, lock the doors. Do not go outside. Because God's wrath was overcoming a village. The disobedient would suffer consequences, unknown, but not indifferent from those who were being judged and under punishment. Need I say, there were many who were disobedient to be lumped in with those who were being judged. It's time to pass judgment on the disobedient people. Yeah. And so this evening, I'm going to open up my panel. Hopefully, I can get some of you I've reached out personally to leave a personal invitation. Others, I can put a link in the chat because it's time to have not just conversation, but participation in the call to action. There are some people who just need to get set straight. Yeah. So that's why I'm here this evening. And I'm hoping to gain some support because I have shown support in many ways. And the least that one can do is to show where your true spirit lies. And if you find yourself unattached, unsupportive, understand one like me takes that to heart as well. The time for play been past due. Past due. So we're here for this evening. Welcome to the channel. Take a quick moment to go for a roll call. Let's see here. And understand that this is not an open forum for foolishness. By no means. No means. My brother 78 Sports TV, the General, says, what it do? Shower Liars in the building. What's happening? Woke is in the building. Mr. Shelton, what's happening? Peace to you. Chilltown Majors, what's happening? Universal Truth, appreciate you returning. My brother Drew Titan, LLC, in the building. Anthony Bolton. Tay Tay, the real queen of MMA and combat talk. Kamara, the stepping razor, what's happening? Shogun 76, what's good with you? Yes. D Fresh 94, what's happening? Derek Smith, salute. My brother 78, I sent you a personal link. Shower, same for you, personal link. Please use the link. Yeah. My brother Shogun, you see now that the channel is active, right? Brother 78, you're still in the chat. The Kung Fu channel is now active. So Stormy B-Man will be uploading Kung Fu content on the Kung Fu channel. That's going to be there. Salute, General. What's good with you?
Peace, bro. Peace.
Peace, man. I was just speaking as you were coming into the building. My Kung Fu channel is now active. Got 22 subs already.
Okay,
So
let me get over there for a second.
Yeah. My Kung Fu content will now go to that channel directly. You know, stuff that I've done already, I'll be able to upload it over there. But the channel, as of 2 days ago, is active. And I'm actually dual streaming tonight for the first time with both channels now. So,
okay, bet.
But this subject tonight, I feel, was good enough to put on both channels because our topic of discussion, it needs to be had and it needs to reach as many as we can.
Right.
You know, so, but I appreciate you joining me. Appreciate that. Let me put us, because I got my my logos up on the main screen. Put us up here.
I'm trying to find your Kung Fu channel. Where's that?
The link for it is on my community page. Give me 1 second, and I'll put it up there for you, and I'll put it in the group chat for you. Just give me a second to pull it up.
I got it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'm so excited about that. It took the brother Drew Titan to help me get it going because, you know, I made that channel a year ago, but I couldn't get it uploaded for whatever reason. It turned out that I had to do something with my email to get it activated.
Right.
Once I did that, everything was good. I was like, man, that's all it took. I'm like, I tell you, man, my being a person that's not real savvy with all of this, you know, it make me feel a little foolish, but I ain't so embarrassed that I can't, you know, say, hey, you know, I need help. So I reached out to Drew and he helped me get it done. So appreciate the brother Drew Titan for helping. Let Let me pull this up here. Yeah, man. So while I'm doing this, General, can you go ahead and give me a generalization of some of your thoughts about what we've been incurring recently with these circumstances of this racist behavior in the sport of boxing, and how even our own are seemingly showing their belly in a time when people need to stand in strength and unity.
It's sad, man. It's sad to me to see this, because I'm seeing a new generation of black folks, not judging. I'm not saying their age. I'm saying in this time, for whatever reason, in this time, I'm seeing dudes older than me, young, way younger, and they all got like this bootlick mentality to where they not bothered by racism. Anybody can say whatever they want to say about black folks and black people. I'm not offended. It don't bother me none, right? Somebody come out and totally disrespect your people, and you rooting for them to win against a brother. You will hold a grudge against a black man over a misunderstanding and hold that grudge on for dear life, and then forgive another man who disrespecting your people. What's up, Sister Shaw? You know,
yeah, go ahead.
For the life of me, I don't understand. I understand the self-hatred. I just don't understand why it's been such a strong push for it lately. Like where has this come from to where so many black men and black folks in general have just given up on the fight, man? They just like, I mean, like, I don't know what, like, they ain't even paying y'all to do this.
Exactly. It's not even about money. It's a total lack of integrity, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that's dangerous.
It is, man.
It's dangerous to the community. It's dangerous to the culture. It's dangerous to our overall society. Because, you know, when I was doing my opening monologue, I was saying we're being inundated, meaning that we're being hit from all angles, not just the enemy that we have always identified as enemy from external, but now we have full-fledged enemy from within.
Right.
And that's one of the most dangerous circumstances to find yourself in, because there's no safe haven. There's no place of refuge. That's why I said it's a call to arms. This needs to cease. It needs to cease. This is serious.
Mm-hmm.
Because as I do my Tuesday tussle and I talk about boxing and life and boxing having some sort of a marriage, right? There's a unison of the two, because boxing is a fight game. Life is always a battle. So that's why it goes like that. But with no safe haven, no place of refuge, it's time to draw the lines and start eliminating what the circumstances that are most dire to us happen to be. And to be perfectly honest, it starts at home. It has always started at home. And those with no value, no ethic, no virtue, off with the head, man.
Yep.
And there will be casualties. There will be. It's funny that these words that I'm speaking now, they were spoken 60 years ago, 70 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And there were people who lost lives. There were people who crossed lines of so-called beliefs at that time. And sometimes some of those people were perceived enemy, but they actually stood in unison with the cause. Some got hurt during that. Some lost their lives. But here we are again. And it seems like some of that sacrifice that people made, it's for naught. When you got individuals like Floyd Mayweather Jr., Jamal Charlo, and we know that the list goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And yes, we're calling names because you are an embarrassment. A seed that was wasted when you have no integrity. And I don't know, but I've only been on this earth 60 years. But as I look around, I never heard anybody say when they left here, they took their bag with them.
Right.
You don't.
So having a bag don't mean a damn thing. Because when they want to take that bag away from you, they will. It's not even a loan. That's why I don't have your name on it. Tell me I'm lying.
You ain't lying. It's integrity too. Like where 78 was talking about how it's not just people in the past, but presently, and they don't. It's worse, and there is no integrity, and I really feel like we've taken up their cause, their agenda. They wanted us to not care. They wanted us to get to a place where it's okay for them to say racial things, to say the N-word, and we be okay with it for $1. But people is doing it for free. It's ridiculous, and there's no integrity. People don't care about self. That's really what it boils down to. When I look at you, when I look at 78, when I look at everybody, I see myself. These people do not care about themselves, and I agree. It's time for it to stop, and they gotta go. But I've been saying that there's no room for traitors, people who don't care about themselves, because you're dangerous. You're dangerous for every last one of us.
Absolutely.
I think it's I was arguing with this dude one time, a brother who he just kept talking to me about survival. Some of us do what we gotta do to survive, and we gotta do this, we gotta do to survive, and all this, right? And I asked him a simple question. I said, man, if something happened where you had to go to prison, right? And you're outnumbered, they throw you in the dorm, and it's 20 dudes up in there, bigger than you, stronger than you, but they all zesty. And they say, we're gonna take care of you. But you can survive, you can live for another 20 years. You're gonna get fed, but you also they're gonna smash you. When they want to smash you, you gotta wear some Kool-Aid on your lips, and you gotta pee sitting down. I said, what would your choice be? He said, man, if I got kids, man, I'm gonna stay alive for my kids. I said, well, we ain't got nothing else to talk about, brother. Me and you, we just different. Cause that's the day I go. I'm going. Like you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like there's nothing, I cannot live knowing that I'm doing something like that. But some people don't think that way, bro. And those are the people who cutting these jigs. Like they look at it like, man, I'm gonna play the game. I'm gonna do what I gotta do to survive. I'm gonna do, whatever. I don't know what to say, bro. I'm sick of these people, dude. Sick of them.
Being compromised is not okay.
Right.
Absolutely. Salute to the brother Drew Titan. Thank you for joining, Drew. How you feel, man?
I had a very interesting day, but I'm alive. And I was actually with my mom, running around doing things for her, of course. And when I saw you was going live, I said, let me run home, because she don't live too far. So let me run home and contribute and give my 2 cents on this foolishness. And every time we sometimes it feels like when we're making a little bit of headway in what we do here, someone attempts, I'm not going to say they knock us back 10 steps. No, they attempt to knock us back. And I just pulled up, I don't know if you've discussed this or not, but we're talking about the racism in boxing. Did y'all mention Jamal Charlo yet?
Not yet. We haven't got specifically into anything. We basically had our opening, monologue on this.
The reason why nothing surprised me, allow me to set it off on him. It's typical, y'all. If you remember, this is not the first time either one of them did that. I remember when his brother did that to Deontay on the Instagram Live. If y'all remember, skills pay the bills. It's not about race. You remember all of that. And I said, man, F both of them. And everyone was like, no, man, that was Jamel. I said, no, it's the same person, y'all. Same person, same upbringing. All right. At this point, what's going to happen is, and I'm just letting the people that don't know or are ignorant to the fact, what's going to happen is people are going to seek comfort in him. Especially, I watched the interview, especially from what he said. I say racist ish all the time. You white. And of course, there was somebody there. I don't know which reporter did that for no reason. Brought up Devin's name.
It was a jig. It was a jig.
It was a jigaboo?
Yeah,
I want to know who that was. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
But what happens is when you see a ninja doing that, they're going to seek comfort in him. But let me remind all of you, because just last week he was crazy.
Right.
Just last week, everyone was making fun of him. And I took my foot off the gas on him. As a matter of fact, I took my foot off the gas when he went crazy and he stepped away from the sport, right? I supported Jamel when I thought he was going to do something great against Canelo. And this is after the Deontay Wilder situation. What's going to happen is they're going to take that, and the people that were cutting him down and clowning all the Charlos and clowning Jamel for taking the L, for Canelo not even trying, clowning Jamal for having a mental breakdown. These are the people that are going to seek comfort in his words. And I'm going to remind everyone, this Negro's crazy. And this is why you have to be very careful in who you support. This is why I tell people it's deeper than boxing. And this is why I'm very, very, very cautious about my surroundings and who I choose to associate with, because people always tend to reveal themselves. And see, I'm just going to say this. These niggas right here, I always knew. I did a live stream about 3 years ago now. Well, we was coming out of the pandemic when I did this. And I put their faces, if y'all remember an old video game for Nintendo called Contra, I put their faces on that box and it said, we got shooters. Like, they talked all of this rah-rah, they growling like pit bulls and stuff. But when Deontay said, yo, I'll slap the F out you talking crazy, all of a sudden he got shooters. See that right there? That tells me who the Charlos are. I'll give you another example. When those fools came up here to Brooklyn and they were all rah-rah this, boom-bah, and we'll do this, we'll do that. Danny Jacobs walked on, I think it was Jamal. Oh, it was Jamal he walked up on, right? It was Jamal. He walked up on.
I think that was Jamel.
It was Jamal.
I mean, Jamal. Yeah, Jamal. You're right. I got them mixed up. Yeah, it was Jamal.
He walked up on him. He said, just the man I want to see. And the video's on YouTube. And he cowered like a dog, like a scared puppy. Tell me, all of a sudden, everything changed. And D. Jacobs was in his grill. Now, I'm not saying who would have won that fight, but what I'm saying is Daniel Jacobs lives where he talks. The kid from Brooklyn. You understand? All that Texas, rah-rah, and this ain't a state or city thing. What I'm saying is I know the type. There's suckers in every state, every part of the world, every county, every borough. There's suckers in every state. And what Daniel Jacobs did was he pulled his damn card. Because if you was really about that, you'd have manned up right there and say, send a contract, let's fight about it. He didn't do that. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the same night those fools went to a club.
And got.
Like 10 grand. They got boosted out of their man purse of 10 grand. Okay. and they saying it's not about race. They were also in my city, and they complained that the gym was racist towards them. So this is what we're dealing with the Charlos. But the Charlos is symbolic to what we're dealing with as a community. And I'm not listening to them then, and I ain't gonna listen to that nigga now. But I'm gonna
hold on. Let me add something to that too.
Go ahead.
Then you fast forward a few clicks, and Caleb Plant had to slap him in his face.
There you go. And I was there for that.
And he didn't man up in that moment either.
Nope.
And today, when they had the presser, he's on the dais shaking Caleb Plant's hand.
And kissing
And then later, after the presser's photo sessions and stuff, talking about, oh, I'm gonna have to get my get back. There was nothing but space and opportunity, and you blew it only to come back and show your belly to the establishment about your own people with those remarks that you dropped today.
I'm tearing them down, Stormy. I'm dedicating the live. I'm gonna do a live on Saturday. I'm tearing these guys down because you know what? As usual, I don't have to lie on them. I've just been really like on code, and I took my boot off their neck. And nah, I'm not doing it no more. I'm not letting none of these guys breathe. I'm done with it. Also in Vegas, Stormy, because I just missed the commotion. All I saw, I was standing with Blue Blood, was him and like 7 guys from his entourage walked out the building. I said, what just happened? And they told Blue, yo, Caleb just slapped Maul. I said, that's Maul? Because I couldn't tell from a distance. That's Maul? Slapped him. Now, my thing is this, man. You ain't going to slap me. I ain't waiting for my get back. I'm doing it now. I'm doing it now. I knew he was crazy then. And on top of that, I think Mel's and Maul's wives got into a fist fight. It was like 100 degrees outside.
Y'all skipping Jamel disrespecting Jared Hurd's woman, saying he killed her.
Hold on. Before we take the conversation even further, let's welcome our brother, Coach Hudson, in the building, because I don't want everybody to, continue to talk. The brother, I invited him in here, so I want to make sure that his voice gets heard as well. Salute, Coach Hudson. Welcome, Coach, to the the show, brother.
Peace, bro.
Hey, salute, brother Stormy B, the General, Queen Shower, my brother Drew. How y'all feeling?
Feel good.
We're good, man, but we're not good. We're not good with the state of these, for lack of a better term, young men out here that don't seem to understand the damage that they're doing to us and our community with their mindset. And I'm extremely offended, which is why I'm doing this show tonight. And I thank you all for joining me in this, because this is important, man. This is important. So welcome, brother. And please go ahead and share some of your light with us as well.
Well, growing up, I remember watching, those old civil rights movies and movies like Rosewood and the Harriet Tubman movies and the Nat Turner movies. And I used to always ask, well, why are there turncoats? Why do we have people in the movie always turning on us? And I used to ask my father, well, why didn't they fight back? And I remember my father told me, well, a lot of us did fight back. The issue was we had those among us who made it difficult for us to keep fighting. And a lot of times they turned against their own people.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, what we're dealing with is we have brothers in the sport.
Coach, your signal is kind of bad. You might want to pop out and pop back in. Can anybody else hear him? I'm not hearing anything.
No, it's dead.
I can't hear the brother either.
Yeah.
I think he just probably get him in a bad spot if he's driving or something.
Can somebody? Yeah, there you go. He popped out. Maybe he can come back in. You see, we have a number of weapons at our disposal. And when I say weapons, I'm talking about, and I had a conversation with Shawa earlier, so she'll understand, because we kind of touched on this. The mind. The mind is the most powerful weapon. But in order for it to be utilized to perfection, you have to be able to compartmentalize what's imminent, what's important, what's significant, and go with it. Like you heard me say earlier in the opening monologue, it's like the time for play is done. You know, we have people out here who are looking for opportunities to, they talk about some of these individuals on their channels and they want to get interviews with them and try to boost their views and all of that. I'm not out here for views. Never have been. The quality of the content that I produce speaks for itself. If someone is not intelligent enough to recognize and identify that, that's not my problem. However, when it's time to chew or eschew the fat, get rid of it, people like these individuals we're speaking on tonight, it starts with them. You got to get rid of them. You got to eliminate them. And those that are supporting them, those that are trying to make a way for them and everything, get rid of them too. As I said before, it's a call to arms. And sometimes when you got to go into battle, it's not comfortable. It's not. Diamonds are produced from pressured coal. Yeah. Pearls are found in the depths of the sea, buried deep. They don't lie on the sand, the shores of the sand. They don't do that. And there's a reason for that. It's time to get back to the old ethic. And if these young ones can't get with it, hey, the lessons have got to be meted out. And I'm asking, be with me on this, because you have to stand for something or else you'll be laid to waste by anything. Die on your feet over choosing to live on your knees. That's what this is about. And as I said, it's a familiar call to people who have already laid down and paid ultimate sacrifices. Laws on books were changed as a result of that. And now you're going to assist and abate these things to be removed, and for the ways of old to be brought back. You know that MAGA thing? You fool. You should choose death before anything. I mean, am I alone in this thought?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. I hear you, bro. And it's man, you know, it gets so frustrating trying to talk to our people about this stuff, because you see, it's like I know people say this, but like each generation, bro, it seems like every year we saying the same thing. Every year we saying, man, I ain't never seen cooning like this before. It's getting worse and worse every year, bro. And a lot of it got to do with what's going on in society, what's being acceptable on the internet. Everybody coming on here for a bag and just throwing their people under the bus saying goofy stuff. I seen some video somebody sent me. I'm like, bro, why you send me this? Oh, I want your thoughts on it. I'm like, bro, you know my thoughts on it. If you know me, you know my thoughts. Fuck this. Don't send me this bullshit. Charleston White talking about, I have nothing to be proud of to be black. There's no reason to be proud to be black. We got nothing we ever done that make you proud. If that's how you feel, bro, off yourself. Get out of here. What are you here for? Just cause confusion? What you mean you got nothing ever? Your people have done nothing for you to ever be proud of. That's a cancer to our people. Somebody like that is a government agent, bro. That's an agent.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sick, man.
Funny looking nigga.
But then our babies is watching this stuff, and they don't know. A lot of these kids don't know no better because people are failing to raise their children properly. We're failing to have these conversations with our children. I make sure I'm making my business. Some people even accuse me of talking too much shit around my kids. But my kids got to know this type of stuff because if something happened to me tomorrow, they going to know how the fuck their father felt and what my program is. They going to know that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't going to be no confusion about what daddy felt about this, about that. They going to know.
Absolutely, General. Absolutely.
You know what, man? We're the last stand. Charleston White is pretty much in our age group. And he ain't the only one. The fact that we have no real leaders in the community to turn to is why you got the Charles of the world. You got the Charleston Whites of the world. You got the people that are too cowardly to stand in the pocket and fight for something. But they don't want to catch any strays. Not even strays, because strays is by accident. I'm talking about direct hits. Oh, I was a keep it boxing. I don't want to get into all that race stuff. You're too scared. You're too cowardly to address what's real. I had a whole conversation with a dude at work on this boxing thing. And there was so much that he didn't know. I mean, basic things like you didn't know Tyson Fury wasn't allowed on American soil. We've been talking about that for goddamn 4 years now. Basic things he didn't know about Ryan Garcia's racist rant. And I had to tell him, you as a Latin man need to be real careful talking about that fight. You claim you're not racist, you need to be real careful talking about that fight because you didn't know about the racist rant. I pulled it up on my phone. I said, just play that. And his jaw dropped. And I said, bro, this is what I'm talking about. You need to be real careful. And this is why I don't deal with half-wits. When I get on my show and I say, listen, talk to everybody in the chat who fairly knows boxing. You don't have to engage with everybody. You can tell in 2 seconds who you're dealing with. People have to qualify to talk boxing with you. And it's like that in life. People have to qualify to discuss economics, the black struggle, anything. They have to qualify. I had a fool that I opened up my panel to, so I needed my audience. Every now and again, I have to do that to see the level of incompetence that stalks us. You understand? And I'm convinced, being that we're the last of a dying breed, because everybody has their date, we just don't know when. We're the last stand, which is why I stand 10 toes down on what I do. When you got guys like John Jones singing Blessed and Highly Favored like with Ryan Garcia, I have that video. I'm about to put it up because I'm gonna cook everybody. When you tell me that you don't know what this kid did, that's a problem. I don't take pictures with everybody. I don't. I got a picture with Antonio Tarver, for example. I do. I never posted it. You know why? I always post my weekends when I go to these fights. I always post like after the fight. If it's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I post it on a Monday and Tuesday. I didn't post it with Antonio Tarver because I didn't like his commentary. Now, him and I have become familiar. He doesn't like really know my name and nothing like that. I invite him on the show, but every time he sees me, he's like, hey man, what's up? Next time I see him, I'm gonna have a conversation about it with him. Like, yeah, you know, what was that about? What did you know, your thoughts on that? But I'm not the type to be talking about these guys and then smile at them and then take a picture with them because this situation is way too dire. the situation is way too dire. Guys like Tim Bradley, you know what I'm saying, what Jamal Charlo said today, he's rooting for Tiafimo. And I say racist shit all the time. All the racists are gonna clip that and live by it.
Listen, I wanted to say something before you go too much further, Drew. Your recollection and talking about Tarver, it made me remember something, you guys. In '78, I know you, because you cover more than boxing, but I'm gonna take you guys back to when Devin and Ryan fought last year, and Ryan had the so-called win right before we found out what we ended up finding out
Right.
about that situation. Do you remember his visit to Deion Sanders?
Yep. Pissed me off too.
Okay. Do you remember what happened to Deion Sanders' son in the draft?
Yep.
Funny how karma comes around. You see, especially when you play with God. Remember those comments that he was making?
Yeah.
Talking about God?
Yeah.
Because, see, when he was talking about God and Ryan was talking about Jesus, just because they were invoking those names and using God, but not being of the Spirit of God and not being of the Spirit of what that's supposed to truly mean, that's God with a little g. And it's false flagging. So, just like when Scripture taught the lesson about casting out spirits and demons, and when making like you really had God authority to do so, and then those spirits and they jump on you and wear you out. See, I don't think Mr. Dion was calling on Jesus regarding the situation with his son, because see, when you ride in that wave, you kind of forget. It's like when you tell lies, you have to keep telling more lies to compensate for the others, right? But when you're telling the truth, you say that, and that's what it is. It'll be there forever because it's the truth. It's a fact. See, these people have been out here doing these things. You got to be careful who you support. You got to be careful what you support. And just because they look like you, don't mean that you have to identify that as being like you. Far from it.
You notice I didn't make one video about Deion's kid. I didn't make one mother effing video, because I'm like, well, sins of the father. I didn't say anything. I wasn't celebrating. I was just saying, look at that here. Look at that. Well, look at that.
What I always found funny about that whole situation with Dion and Ryan is that that first press conference, Ryan said something about calling the Holy Spirit into the room and immediately told some woman in the audience, shut the up, bit, that's my bit, right? Yep. So how does Dion follow up with that? That's why I always say that anytime these people come out playing that Christianity mess, it's a ruse to me. It's a ruse. These are the same people that when they get to the mercy seat, the Most High gonna say, depart from me, I never knew you. Didn't I do this in your name? And you're gonna be like, I don't know you.
Yep.
You ain't did nothing in the Most High's name.
Y'all don't even know his name, for real.
Family, can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now, brother. Yes.
What's the last thing you heard me say? I don't know what happened. I got kicked out.
You had just begun, brother, and it started roboting a little bit, and then you went radio silent. So if you wanna pick up on the thoughts that you had, we're willing to listen to you, because we want to hear what you got to say. It was
that you were asking your father about why didn't people fight back?
Oh man, so I was talking a good 10 minutes thinking you all could hear me, but anyway, I digress. So I was asking my father about these civil rights movies that we were watching as kids and asking them why were people not fighting back, and he would always tell me that we were fighting back, but we had people who were traitors. We had people who were turncoats amongst us, and in the next 20 years or so, you're going to have kids look at this sport and they're going to hear things about Floyd Mayweather and even going back to Ali. And they're going to ask, well, how did we get to this point? When you have a fighter like Charlo say, it doesn't matter what T.O. said, because I say racist things as well. When you have Ryan Garcia go on a racist rant and be treated like a hero and come right back to the sport, and it be no real consequences. When you have a camp who has 6 champions who have all popped hot and there are no consequences, these things are building up and it's setting stage for what's to come. If we are not louder, if the truth tellers do not become louder, if the fighters in the sport do not decide to take a stance, what they are headed for, there will be no turning back. And it's so disgusting, because the things that our ancestors in the sport of boxing fought for and fought against for almost 100 years, these ignorant, spineless brothers like Charlo, who have no allegiance to the black community, they are going to do more damage on social media, more damage right now in present day boxing than anything that could have been done in the sport of boxing over the last 120 years. Because what they couldn't do trying to create a great white hope, they are going to do with our own fighters refusing to even act like racism exists. If anyone knows about racism and racist, one of the biggest tricks they do is try to gaslight you to act like it does not exist at all. Right. And then after they gaslight you to say, well, it does not exist, what do? They get more bold with their disrespect. They start to approach your children. Now your children are in situations they shouldn't be in, because their children feel emboldened that they have authority over them, that they can treat. And it's happening right now in the gyms. It's happening right now with the amateurs in USA boxing. This is an effort, and what's so disgusting about it is it's our own fighters who are complicit. If you are silent about this, you are complicit. But they're not just silent, they're agreeing with it. And some of our fighters who I know they don't mean harm, but they need to understand it is time to close ranks. You are either on the left side or the right side. We have a foul thing, and the thing about a well-dressed lie is like a hooker in the street that's been in the street for a week and hasn't taken a shower. And they come in front of you and they change clothes, but they're still unclean. So you still smell the stench of that lie. So it's just a well-dressed, spineless lie trying to act like it is real. Right now, you have these demons in the sport of boxing. See, I don't play around with God. When Ryan Garcia can keep talking about Jesus and keep bringing up God and this, that, and the third, I would have been snatched his punk ass from off the stage. But I understand all our fighters can't do that. They can't mess up the bag, but you don't go over there and laugh and hee and ha with them. You don't even have to allow them around you. When these guys, I was disgusted by some of the stuff I saw in New York. Some of these guys who disrespected the Haneys all last year, not just disrespected them as I don't like you as a promoter or a fighter or a trainer, disrespected them as black men. They got to walk around New York, walk around media like everything was all good, smiling in everybody's face. It's all good, like you haven't been saying what you've been saying. So I don't want to hear anymore that we're not our ancestors, because see, the older black men that I know, it would have been a problem. There would have been some furniture moving, because you would have had to stand on what you've been saying. And I just have to say this, because I've been holding my tongue about this. Our fighters have too much vitriol and hatred for each other, and too much love and respect for them. When Terrence Crawford can tell T.O. it's all good, it's all love, but then tell Gary Russell, I'll break your neck, that is a problem. Where is the love? When Charlo can say, I got to see Bill, but you didn't slap fire from Caleb Plant on site, that is a problem. You brothers got to get your mind right, because let me tell you this. The whole world is changing. Everybody's standing up. Look what's going on over in Africa right now. Them brothers are standing up. So melanated people, we on the same vibration. You brothers who think that cause see, the Charlos have always wanted to please the Mexican fan base. That's what that's about. They want to get a bigger Mexican audience in Texas because they're around them more, or for whatever reason, whether it's self-hate, I don't know what they got going on. But let me tell you this, at the end of the day, brother, eventually you have to come back to us. The brother Stormy B, you just said, talking about Prime, Coach Prime, when he bought Ryan Garcia, like he done did something after he beat Devin. And then what happened? You got your nigga wake up call. And who was right there saying this ain't right? They shouldn't be doing your son like that. It was us.
No Mexicans, it was us.
It was us.
And Bill Haney came out and said it wasn't right. Ryan Garcia remained quiet the whole time.
Standing right there with you. So Brother Drew had a young man on there the other day, and he came on saying he's defending Tank, but then after a while, guess what happened? Guess who name come up about 15 minutes later? It's Bill Haney. So you all got more smoke for this black man, for these fathers in the sport of boxing. You got more smoke for Brian Norman Sr. and Bill Haney, but you ain't got smoke for these racists. They are walking around, not a mark on their face. They are walking around comfortable around you. They are walking around like, I know ain't nobody gonna touch me. They are walking around like I can say whatever I want to say and then come back around you. Hey, what happened to Floyd Mayweather when he went over there to London after he stopped by Israel? What happened? He had to get off that street. So you mean to tell me these folks over in London got more heart? See, you can't be on both sides, and that's where we're headed at this point. But just know, when you come home, your black ass will not be welcome.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed.
Amen. You know, and that other thing that you were saying, Coach, just to add on to that, they got all this smoke and heat for their fellow black men. Mm-hmm. Even to the point where it appeared that Charlo was even threatening, like he would like to put hands on Bill or something. I need to see him or whatever. Yeah. You didn't need to see them people when you was in your situation, huh? And you didn't need to see them though. It's like, and your brother, where was his spirit when he got in there with Canelo? Where was that at?
Right.
Huh? You guys turn yellow. And you show you're behind, huh? You might as well go to the big house because they like when you do that. When you show you're behind and be yellow, huh? And with that little yellow stuff in your head too, running around, huh? What is that all about? You know what? I am sick and tired of these worthless black men out here misrepresenting. And somebody's always sticking a camera or a microphone in their face so that they can continuously spew their ignorance.
And show their self-hate.
That's right.
And they laugh at you.
That's
they
right.
They laugh at you.
Disgusting. And then, Brother Stormer, you seen the white reporter tried to stop Charlo. He tried to say, hey, Charlo, well, what about all that stuff T.O. said? And Charlo doubled down. The coward doubled down on it and said, I say racist stuff all the time. It's all good. What kind of Sambo, spineless plantation crap was that?
You know what it is, Coach? Just like what happened a couple weeks ago. Grown white woman called a 5-year-old black autistic boy the N-word on camera.
Mm.
And then they tell us the conversation on YouTube amongst black people is, man, we need to stop using that word ourselves.
My God.
Man, I mean, we call ourselves the N-word. I mean, how we gonna get mad at them if we call ourselves? I'm so sick of these bootlicking buck ass dudes. Bro, just shut up, please. Every time they get caught, somebody else get caught doing something that's offensive to black folks, they get uncomfortable, so they want to switch the topic to what we doing wrong. See what I'm saying? Now, if that ain't gaslighting, I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? If my wife come and tell me, and she say, honey, look, I don't know what's going on, but you've been coming in at 3 a.m. every night. I don't even see you no more, you know, and the bills ain't getting paid. And I flip it on her and say, well, I mean, you be nagging me, and you be, hey, cut it out, bro. At the end of the day, we all got to take responsibility for our actions. And for whatever reason, black folks in this era don't want to hold nobody else accountable for their actions and what they're doing to us. We're not holding each other accountable no more. Me personally, I cannot support no more people that is on that jig train. I can't do it. If you are not, I'm not saying you gotta be Malcolm X, but can we at least get Dr. King? Can we at least get Dr. King, please? Can we get somebody who got some sense? I mean, y'all acting like we asking the world of you. You acting like we asking you to come out here and be a Black Panther or something. We're not asking. We know I don't put that stock in these celebrities. All I'm asking you to do is have some pride, fam.
Show some damn integrity.
Integrity.
Yeah. Integrity. Pride, yes.
Integrity is a lost art, brothers and sisters. The integrity is a lost art. That's what
No,
I'm saying.
it's not lost. It's right here. It's right here.
It's just that they're refusing.
Hold on a second. We got 6 people on this panel right now exemplifying integrity. The reason that we're having this conversation, the reason that I've asked you to join me, to take up arms with me, is to lead by fucking example. You see, it's too many people that want to sit back and watch the fucking parade. Huh? This is not a parade. This is war. They are trying to go and eliminate us as a person of interest in this world. I am going to do all I can to say, fuck no, I ain't going for that. Mm-hmm. And I'm asking any of you out there who's with me, because you ain't gotta be, but I'm going to tell you something. I will die fighting for what I believe in, and I am not going to be submissive. You understand? Like these damn fools. I told you there were people who have lost their lives.
That's right.
For you to be able to enjoy some of what you have in today's time, and that's not even the best of what you should be able to enjoy. Mm-hmm. I am sick and tired that I turn on my television, or I can turn on YouTube, or I can go live, and you get this foolishness that surrounds us like a damn minstrel show.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's not a minstrel show because it's fucking real life. I've never represented like that, and I'll never represent like that. And I throw down anyone who feels like that and have allegiance to that. Stay thee away from me.
Yes, indeed.
It's real talk.
That's all facts, brother.
Well said, Stormy.
That's all facts.
That's where we at now, man. That's where we at.
We can't continue. Go ahead, General.
No, you go ahead, brother.
We can't continue. See, I don't know if you all ever watched them old slave movies, and anytime they go running for the slave, they always got a hound dog with them. And one thing about them hound dogs and them lap dogs, see the overseer and the races of the plantation, the biggest, they always love a lap dog. And the reason why is because no matter how much crap they put in that lap dog's face, the lap dog come right back to him. Come right back to him with loyalty that is almost insane. Well, some of you brothers in the sport of boxing are the lap dogs for the footstool of white supremacy. It don't matter what's done to us. You all run back to them and lick the master's feet. It don't matter what happened to us. You can't wait to run back and show that your allegiance is to propagate and keep it going, that whatever the story is that's hot at the time, you are with the program. So right now, the fighter that's on the whipping pole is Devin Haney and Bill Haney. And our brothers, talking about the fan base now, are so filled with hate that they can't even see what's going on in front of them. People are saying, well, they want to see, they want to see Devin and Brian Norman Jr. Well, let me tell you what's going to happen. Let's say they fight, and let's say Brian Norman Jr. wins. Do you know what's going to happen after that? The hate they have for Bill, it's going to be for Brian Norman Sr.
Yep.
Damn right.
Any father that is right there with his son, they gonna have a problem with, because they can't play you. That whole thing the NFL just did to Dion was putting him on the whipping pole, and them white boys did it in front of the world to let you know, nigga, it don't matter how skilled you are, how much money you have, we are in charge. We are in charge, and if we say we'll put you on the whipping pole, man, we'll do it to your children in front of you. It ain't nothing you can do about it. Now, how you feel about that? Now, as a black man, and I'm gonna keep it real with you, I don't watch football that much, and I've been like that since Colin Kaepernick, because I felt then that these racists look at this like the plantation that it is, and right there they just showed the whole world that a man, a man that is a good role model like Coach Prime. Prime don't do nothing wrong. The man don't curse. He might slip out of road every now and then when he's training, but he don't curse. He preaches get good grades, be a family man. He talk about God, and it don't none of that matter. The fact is, if you are a black man and you are a father and you are there in your child's life, you are a threat. That is what they are telling you. How are you brothers going to allow somebody like Clarissa Shields to have more testicular fortitude than you? What kind of black man are you?
Talk to him.
What kind of black man are you when she is checking everybody in boxing and not afraid to say what's right? And this is a woman. And then when Jake Paul said something about her, then none of you brothers stand up in the sport of boxing. Not one of you.
Not one of you slapped him.
They talk
When
bad
Ryan
about it.
said something about her, not one of them said. When Tank said something about her, not one of them said anything.
Where was the Tank fans who always run into Drew or BFTB's chat? Why are you hating on Tank? He's a black brother. Well, the black brother's out here cursing out a black sister.
Where was Spicy Papacito? While Drew hate on women.
He was masturbating over me, and this is why we do what we do. And I let guys like that on so you can see that I'm not just joking. All the homo references and the monkey videos, it comes from somewhere, and it hurts my heart that I have to do things like that. But if that's the only way to make you understand, then it is what it is. It is what it is. And I'm unapologetic in my stance. I'm a grown-ass man. And we all lead by example. I always said, I've been following the general for over 13 years now. And when he started the LDBC, I said, I got to support the brother. Never got in here to make money. I supported a movement because it needed to be done. I saw my introduction to social media was very negative. It really was. And it is still things that I've yet to understand, but I know enough now. And I understood early what was happening. I understood early what's going on is people, look, the treatment of black fighters have become normalized. All right, when we're boxing, we're running. When Loma's boxing, it's the Matrix. Shit like that. When you got a guy like Deontay Wilder that is outweighed in all his fights, but for some reason he got a hammer of God in that right hand. That's all he got. but he gotten that far, and that's all he has. You understand? But if that was Tommy Morrison with that godlike power, he'd be in the goddamn Hall of Fame right now.
Come on.
Please don't play with me. I know what we're dealing with here. I know what we're dealing with. What it is that it's become normalized. How dare Bob Arum tell me the amount of money he lost on Bud Crawford, he could have bought a house in Beverly Hills. But meanwhile, you told me that Lomachenko's the best boxer he's ever seen since Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali. Fucked around and lost his second pro fight, and nobody told him to run it back.
Come on.
You dig what I'm saying? So I was here for all of this. See, a lot of these guys are Johnny come lately, and this is why I tell people, sit around and listen. Sit around and listen. Stormy B-Man is very important to what we do here in the LDBC. He brings a more, in my opinion, an articulate explanation in a lot of things that we do. I can't do what he does. I can't explain certain things like how he does. BFTB breaks stuff down, but his approach, it might not be Stormy's approach, but it might be different from Focus Ball, might be different from Coach Hudson, might be different from Shower, might be different from Tay, might be different from 78, but we are all on the same accord. We're all saying the same thing, and we cover all these fucking bases. And that's what a community is supposed to do. So when these niggas come up around us and they have a preconceived notion of what we do or why we exist when they didn't do anything, I'm gonna say what I always say. How about get to know us? Ask questions. There's no harm in asking a question. Why do you exist? Where'd y'all come from? Because when you come up around, your introduction to us is always negative. Because you'll find 30 negative videos before you find one of our goddamn channels.
Right.
You understand? And a lot of those people that talk that shit, they got some of them got six figures in subscription numbers. Some of them. So they feel safe. Well, I'm over here with the in crowd. But you know what? In every movie you've ever seen, the in crowd, let's take it back to Revenge of the Nerds in the 80s. The in crowd were a bunch of dicks.
Yeah.
That's what it was in every movie. The in crowd were a bunch of dicks. And the lower class students or neighbors or whatever, they were fighting against what? The machine. And it's a bully mentality. But I am not my ancestors. I'm not Rosewood. I'm not Dr. King. You ain't gonna be throwing bricks at my head. I'm gonna pick one up and I'm gonna throw one at you and your baby. I don't play that shit. And maybe I got some growing to do, but no. You lay a hand on me, I lay a hollow on you. Malcolm X wasn't on that. If he peacefully protesting, don't be throwing rocks at me. You lay a hand on me, I lay a hollow on you. And that's just how it goes.
That's how we're supposed to be. We have been conditioned. We've absolutely been conditioned. That's why I was saying earlier that we're right where they want us to be. And I don't mean like as in us, but as a whole, as a group. They want you to be accepting of them disrespecting you, accepting of them running around, like I said, saying the N-word. You having no self-esteem. You having no integrity, no morals. I mean, when you really think about what happened here, the whole agenda was to make us the villain. They vilified us, and they continue to do that through their media. And now it's gotten down to children, and the parents also help. They don't help, I should say, because just like 78 was saying, we have to teach our children. I don't care. Sometimes I be talking I know I get on my kids' nerves because I be saying stuff about us and about how we need to be. And I'll tell you what, just like 78 said, when I'm gone, they don't have to ask, where did my mom stand? How does she feel? And I guarantee you, they'll likely be just like me when they get older. They will have that mindset. Our people have been brain scrubbed. Forget being brainwashed. Our brains have just been scrubbed to be accepting of being belittled, being treated as less than, and there's no way in the world we should continue to allow it. We're not supposed to. We're supposed to fight back. That's the whole reason why. Who was that? J. Edgar Hoover, whoever said we don't want another black messiah to electrify the people, and there will never be There will never be one man again like a Martin Luther King, like a Malcolm X, Medgar. There won't be. It's just got to be us. It has
Yeah.
to be us as a whole. The ones that are going to stand, and the ones that don't stand, y'all need to fall back. That's all it is.
Queen, that's what the leaders wanted. They wanted all of us to have their mentality. That's what they wanted.
But it's got to be.
Realistically, we're not supposed to look towards one person to lead us, because we all supposed to have the leadership mentality, understand the mission, and be able to execute.
Absolutely.
And how the fuck are we going to execute? We got niggas. I swear to God, I did not see that coming today. I knew he was a conference, but I didn't see him do. What was that?
I ain't see that.
What was that?
I seen it, man, coming. Because I got zero faith in these niggas now. Because well, I see like they purposely cut jigs, bro. They get in front. That's why I don't respect a lot of the so-called boxing media, because they talk one. I remember how they treated Devin when Devin said that little white boy line.
Yeah.
And I remember how everybody was so fake outraged out. You couldn't get an interview done without them asking somebody about it. How do you feel about what Devin Haney said? Ooh. But yet, when Ryan Garcia went on his fucking racist rants, when T.O. went on many racist rants, they quiet about it. They rarely even ask somebody about the stuff.
And
So-
not only that, 78, but not to cut you off, they've actually said things like this. Well, I don't really think that Ryan is racist.
Right.
That's really, I know Ryan. It's like that doesn't really, he's just talking, What? Well,
No.
was Devin just talking? Was
Right.
you who knew Devin, you know that Devin wasn't racist, right? But you wanted to get out there and, like 78 says, cut the jig to come at Devin so that you can get more shine towards yourself and everything. Look at it, look at us, boss. We called him for you. You
Right.
see, we got him in the net. You understand? I've watched this happen in silence. I've watched it and made comments about it. But like I said earlier in this show, enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's time for heads to roll. It's time for people to feel the heat. It's time for people to feel the pain. It's time for people to understand what the scent of the death of jigging feels and tastes like. It's time for that. It's time for that, y'all.
We got to put them in the position to where make them other people, you corner folk, make them support you, because we ain't supporting you.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
I really don't support that mess.
That's what needs to happen.
That's exactly what we need to do. Put them in that position. Well, hey, if we don't support you, you better hope them other ones support you, because we done with you. You cannot keep coming among us when it's convenient for you to act like you with the family, and when it's time for you to represent us, you're not. When it's time for you to stand on truth and just have some doggone pride and integrity, you don't. You mean to tell me they put a camera in front of Caleb Plant, and Caleb Plant, who is a white man, was the only boxer after the Haney no, take that back. He is one of the only boxers that called it like it was and said, hey, Devin did what he was supposed to do. You all were hating on him when he tried to take the fight to Ryan. He got cheated against. What did you expect? And the only other fight I heard was Carmel Moulton that said he did what he was supposed to do. But the rest of these brothers, they could not wait for that camera to get in front of their face so they could say, nah, man, Devin, hey, he ain't got it no more, man. But born fight. Don't even mention that Ramirez couldn't cut off the ring. So I'm at the point now, because sometimes I'll ruin a person's whole show, so I hold my tongue sometimes. And because when dudes get on here and they say things like well, Devin still don't this and Devin that and whatever fighter they're talking about that's doing what they're supposed to do. I'm starting to realize that these brothers know what's going on and they still pulling this crap. See, I'm not going to get that upset with you if I see that you are ignorant and lacking knowledge. I will have, like Brother Drew says, I will have more patience with you in explaining to you, look, brother, this is what's going on. Like the good book says, I was blind and now I can see men as they are. But that's not what's going on with a lot of these brothers. A lot of these brothers know exactly what happened to Deontay Wilder. They know exactly the campaign that was pushed against Devin Haney. They know exactly the racism in boxing, and they still cape for the other side because some of them feel if they can, I don't give a damn what nobody say, because I've been dealing with these Negroes for a long time. They feel that if they assimilate to the dominant white society, if they choose their side, that they'll be in a better position and get a seat at the table. See, they don't want to sit and make a table for their own. They just want to be at their table. And what we have to realize is it's two different types of black folks that want liberation. There are black folks that want liberation because we are willing and ready to build our own and eat at our own table. And there are other ones that want liberation to sit at a wicked, demonic table and have a position at that table. That's what we're dealing with. And some of these brothers, these fake ass Jason Whitlock wannabes that get on here talking down on black folks, making the most egregious parts of our community and paint all of us like that. These are enemies to us. And unfortunately, we have fighters who are like that right now as we speak, and we no longer can allow them to speak for us. So when they get their wake-up call, because it's coming, I will not be present to defend them.
That's right.
Yep. Hey, Coach, can I add to what you just said? So first off, everyone on the panel, good night, everyone. Salute to y'all. Y'all been doing a phenomenal job. You know, I just don't feel like I can contribute much to this that hasn't already been said. But to piggyback off what Coach Hudson was just saying, these people within our community, it's nothing new. I'm a Maroon, so Maroon history is my thing. Back in those days, in the 1700s, 1600s, if you know anything about Maroon history, Maroons freed enslaved people on the plantation, fought the British. Less than 2,000 blacks fought the British at the height of their power and won. The entire time, do you know who their biggest enemy was?
Yeah, let me guess.
Traitors.
Yeah, because there's stories of people being rescued. Matter of fact, there's literally, I can show you the records, my friend. This man's name is Captain Sambo. Captain Sambo was a former slave that got rescued by the Maroons, and he came up to the mountains, and then he ran back to the plantations, told them where the Maroons were hiding, became a captain, got a gun, and led a party up there.
Goodness.
He came back several times. Captain Sambo, real person. But these figures are nothing new. They've always been there. And for some reason, I believe that even in boxing, perhaps these are the people that are promoted, just like in music. Like, I saw something recently where a brother was talking. He said that he had a record deal, but they told him his stuff is just too much. And then he heard what that same label was playing, and it was nothing but nonsense. You have to understand that they select these people. They choose to interview these people. The people that are being promoted as the next guy, that are being propped up, that's why they take a dump on Devin Haney every chance they get. The ones you hear about are usually, they're a part of that system, and they're proud to be a part of that system. That's all I have to add on it. Actually, I got to run out of here, but I appreciate you guys having me on, and I'm gonna listen and get ready for bed. Y'all have a blessed night.
Hey, you too, Brother Pete.
You too, Healer. That's
Peace.
true though. They target the weak, and those are the exact people, like he said, that are chosen. And 78 said something earlier, and I totally agree. Stop glorifying. I totally am against worship, man worship, or woman worship, whatever. Stop glorifying these people. Stop expecting them to do what's right. And yeah, they gonna go ask people like Jamal Charlo. We know that dude is unhinged. So of course they're gonna go ask him these stupid questions. Now, somebody said there was a white guy asking him, basically, do you really mean that? Yeah, he mean it, because he's off his rocker.
He's fucking crazy. He was just
He's off his
crazy a
rocker.
week ago. People were just saying
He
he shouldn't fight ever again. He should retire. They were just saying that, and now these racist others, and I'm covering all the bases: Asians, self-hating blacks, whites, all of you. They're gonna seek comfort in him all of a sudden.
Yep.
Little thing that I was told by my parents was, they hated Dr. King, hated Dr. King, hated Dr. King, hated Dr. King. But when they got a taste of Malcolm X, and he said, all right, yeah, you go ahead and throw those bricks. See what we do. All of a sudden, those crackers ran to Dr. King, say, oh my God, it's so violent, the Nation of Islam. All right. Okay, now you love Dr. King. Right. All I want at this point is for you Sambos to stay the hell away from me at this point. And it's not too much to ask. Stay away from me. We've been at war.
Yes.
I've been understood that.
Let me say something real quick, Drew. Y'all on the panel already know this, but something that hurt me the most, man, on this internet, dealing with social media, is that, and y'all know this, y'all been here. When I first started the LDBC, it was in order to get away from the racist YouTube boxing community, because it was so many, and I was representing the YouTube boxing community. I was doing interviews with fighters and screaming out YTBC and all that. But it was so much racism against black people and black fighters. At that time, they were calling everybody a Flomo. You ain't got to be a Floyd fan. If you just like any black fighter, you're a Flomo. And then they start coming on here being bold, admitting that Flomo was just code for nigga.
That's right.
I mean, they was literally telling us Flomo was code for nigga.
Oh, Coach, you ain't know that? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they say Flomo was code for nigga. And at that point, I was so enraged, bro. I said, you know what? I'm not doing this no more. We're finna start our own thing. 'Cause I already had Lions Den debates. So I said, I'm gonna do a whole nother community. I'm gonna away from these weirdos. And anybody who wanna fuck with me, come fuck with me. And I had a lot of people. I still got that original video on my channel on private. If you look at the people who in the chat in that video, if I was to make it public, you'd be shocked at the people who was in the chat agreeing with me. Yeah, this racist. And look at they're all coons now. All right. Oh, I literally had black people. This broke my heart. Black folks know what I'm fighting for. Turn on me. Bro, we cleaned up the streets of YouTube, shut down all these racist channels. They was irrelevant. Okay? We was never best friends, me and all the other black channels, but we was on code. Mm-hmm. Once we shut down all these racist motherfuckers, these niggas had the audacity to form Voltron against me, against the LDBC.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all just fanboys for Deontay Wilder. Y'all just love Earl Spence. Oh, y'all niggas just love this one and that one. Like, bro, what you doing? What you doing? Then they brought life back into the racists. The racists used these niggas, rolled they back like motherfucking Battle Cat or some shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Rolled them niggas back like Battle Cat. Man, it was so embarrassing, bro. It was so fucking embarrassing, but I couldn't show my hurt. But some of these niggas built their whole channels shitting on me, bro. Yeah. Built their whole channel shitting on the LDBC. And it's unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. And we ain't did nothing but try to protect our people. That's it.
That's it. That's all we guilty of. But you know what it is? Man, jealousy is a motherfucker, ain't it? Now, as you telling that story, you know what kept ringing in my head? In my head? Get your hands out my pockets.
Right.
And let me add this little tidbit of history. Shortly before he was assassinated, Dr. King made a remark.
Yep.
He made a remark that, just paraphrasing, basically said, I have led my people
to burn the house.
into a burning house.
Mhm.
Unfucking real. That's crazy.
Yep.
And he was assassinated shortly after that.
Man.
Who was he running with before he was
One of
assassinated?
the people that was there when he was assassinated is a prominent person in the community today that you all know his name.
Oh yeah, that nigga.
And he was told to make sure that everything aligned up for the plan.
Mhm.
And you know what his remark was? The friendlies will be wearing turtlenecks.
And we had to I had to step out the way so they can get a good shot.
Good shot at him. Yep.
There you
Remember
go.
that?
Now,
And they said that I was a misspoken shit. Well, they ain't no misspoken shit.
Bullshit.
nope. So, and I, before we go any further, I want to just acknowledge a couple of cash apps here. We got the brother King Fuses with a cash app donation. Thank you so much. He says, "Salute, brother Stormy. Thank you so much." And also from the general, he says, "For cooking." Hey man, you know, General, I told you, and I'll say it in front of everybody that's listening out there in the chat and everybody that's on this panel. I was inspired to come back to the sport of boxing by the general, and it was his team up with Black Fight Fan, because I had put boxing down for a few years. There was like a 3-year window where I just wasn't watching it no more or whatever. And when I put sports down like that, I'm very stern on it, just like I put the Chicago Bears down over 10 years ago, and I put the Chicago Bulls down when Derrick Rose blew out his knee in that playoff game against Philly. So it's like, you know, I remember things, and I'm stubborn like a mule like that. But when you guys inspired me to come back to boxing, and I said, wow, you know, I love what you were doing from the vantage point that you were doing it. And I said, I'd like to be a part of that. And I've always maintained and said the same thing throughout these years. And it's been, now this is my 7th, going on my 8th year having a channel. I said, I just want to be a part of something that runs the right way. And I say, I don't want to be out front. I don't want to be the man grandstanding. I just want to be a part of the engine that helped make it run.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I've always maintained. I've had people try to sneak this and try to encourage me. One person even tried to tell me, if you want to get your views up and everything, why don't you start a beef with me, and that'll get more people attracted to your channel. How foolish do that sound?
Yeah, they told me the same thing, son.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, listen, everything I've done, there's been a total genuineness behind it. And it will consistently be that way. Like I've always said about myself, I lead by example. But the one thing I have a true acute appreciation for is what you've been able to establish out here, because it takes somebody. That's why this show, this stream, that was my call for people. Hey, let's get back on track. Let's get back on focus. Let's get redirected to what the real mission is. And that is to rise and ascend and elevate beyond all of this foolishness. Many are called, but few will answer.
That's right.
Hey, that's what I was just going to say, because you know, the Knicks and Pacers playing right now, everybody was into, listen here, Stormy, I knew from the message he sent, it's go time. We ain't got time to watch no basketball. It's go time.
We have
Brother,
to be
here. It's time to be here.
we have to be the link in the chain. We no longer can allow our children to look up to these athletes, because when the athletes do stand up, the rest of them cower. They yellow. Kyrie Irving had to stand out there by himself. See how they did Colin. Look at these boxers standing out there by themselves. When, let me tell you what would have nipped all this in the bud. When Wilder did the way he did, regardless of if he would have lost the next time he fought Fury or not, every black boxer should have marched out the next entrance with him. If they all would have walked out that next Fury fight, everybody would know that ain't none of this gonna fly. I want you all to think about the confidence that Ryan Garcia and Tio has gotten every year since some certain fighters are no longer present. See, when Errol was active and was around Ryan wasn't pulling that crap. When Wilder was around, I'm gonna keep it real. A lot of them dudes can talk that crap they want now, but when Wilder was around, he had them boys in check. You wasn't about to, after he had that situation with Radio Raheem, they wasn't off cold. They might have felt some BS. They might have felt like it, but they weren't finna say it because Wilder would have checked them.
Right.
Now I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. I don't know if you know those who haven't seen the movie Rosewood, but there's a movie called Rosewood, and in that movie, the white men decide to unalive black folks wholesale.
That's
due
right.
to a lie made by a white woman.
White woman.
All right? And there is a pastor of the church, and everybody keeps telling the pastor, "Hey man, come on, them folks is coming, and you know what they on. Come on." And the pastor keeps saying, "Well, you know, these good white folk. I done grew up with these white folk." Man, they hung that man.
Yeah.
They hung him. Now let me show you the propaganda of these people and why they don't want you to know who you are. They don't want you to have a father or a black man that knows knowledge, period. Now let me show you the propaganda of these people real quick. I'm gonna give you two examples. Those of you who have seen the movie, not Rosewood, but a soldier, not a soldier story. What's the name of the movie where they whooped Denzel on the whipping post? With
you talking about
Glory. Anybody that's seen the movie Glory, at the end, Denzel gets unalived and he's holding the American flag. And they show that all these brothers done got killed because these group of brothers basically saved them from losing the war, the Civil War.
That's right.
Fellas and sister, that man in real life name was Sergeant William H. Henry, and he did not die. He was shot 7 times, and he actually folded that flag up and ran it all the way back to the Union Army. Now, why would they not put that in the movie?
Because he can't be a hero.
He can't be the hero. The hero got to be the white man.
I mean, bro, it's another. What's the other movie? Coach Hudson about 9/11. They had Nicolas Cage play the black firefighter.
Can I tell you? I think he played the sergeant, the PD sergeant.
Yeah.
Sure did.
Guess what? You want to know why I'm pissed at that? Okay. Know what I used to do for a living?
Mm-hmm.
He was the only black cop that died in that situation. His niece worked with me, and they never found his fucking body. So when Nicolas Cage, I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm looking at the badge, just gold shield. I said, wait a minute. Man, I was livid, but it was falling on deaf ears, but whatever, man.
Now check it. This second one gonna make you mad. Now check this out. This second one in the movie Rosewood, when the sheriffs went over to the next town and the white guys were like, "Hey, y'all not coming into this town because we got good black folks," and pulled the straps on them, right? In real life, that was Gainesville, Florida, and they were not white men. They was black folks armed to the T and told the Klan, "Y'all ain't coming into Gainesville to cause no trouble over here, or y'all all gonna die right here in this street." Because my grandfather was one of those men. Now, why would they not put that in Rosewood instead of showing everybody trying to run and get away, and the only one fighting is Vin Raines because he was in the white man's war?
Because Vin Raines had already. I mean, I'm still on your point, but Vin Raines had already did that weird ass shit at the Oscars.
Yeah, and still doing weird stuff. But see, this is the propaganda that is being pushed. So they want our fighters to be docile. They want our fighters to only beef with each other. See, it ain't no problem when they beefing with each other. But as soon as it's some smoke coming towards Tio, it's some smoke coming towards Ryan, Now we all need to chill out. Tio has disrespected. I've never seen this before where you can disrespect Muslims, you can disrespect Jews, and there is no apology.
Man.
When Kyrie Irving did it, not only did he apologize, but the first time he apologized, they said that wasn't good enough. I need you to apologize again because we don't believe that was sincere. What kind of shit is that?
Right. Hold your head down. Give us 200 push-ups. Spread your ass. All kind of shit they made this brother do. But T.O. and Ryan out here, you got black folks running. Oh man, I don't see nothing. That's why I listen. What's that nigga name? That rapper, Black and Yellow. What's the nigga rapper name?
Wiz Khalifa.
Wiz Khalifa, yeah.
Yeah, that nigga. Fuck him. Fuck John Jones. Fuck anybody that came out and said Ryan ain't racist and I don't care. And Ryan he ain't racist, man. I don't care about this and this and that. Same thing they doing with T.O. Cool. Because I know one thing. Bill Haney, I know him personally. That's one of the most solid brothers I know. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you got, I had a misunderstanding with Bill before. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like Devin apologizing to about the when Devin said what he said that on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a misunderstanding. I didn't like them. I'm like, bro, don't apologize. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Long story short, they apologized because they understood the business.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want them to apologize because if they apologize, they are acknowledging, and then I have to acknowledge we really have no fucking power. And it hurt me. And I wasn't ready to deal with that reality. But that was the truth. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I was mad at Bill now. We talked, we had an argument, and then we was back being brothers again. And 2 weeks later, that's just how it go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it's supposed to be. So I don't understand how these niggas, some of these niggas, these YouTube content creators, holding grudges against Bill. And I know you can talk to Bill, you can talk to him. So I don't know what did he do to you that you holding grudges against this man and his black son, but you ain't mad at Ryan and T.O.? You a fucking coon. I don't give a fuck who you is. You a coon to me.
Yep.
All this stuff plays into what you guys have already said, though. I mean, and within self-hate and the reality too that we don't have no power, and as long as we are divided, we never will have no power. But I think that they just feel defeated in that fact, and because of that, then they bow down. They bow down. Just like you said, all these people were with you when you started the LDBC, and then all of a sudden they just turned because I think they realized that, we don't have no power, but so long as you split off and divide, your chances is becoming even smaller to make a dent in anything. That's what's so sad to me.
It is.
And I really wanted to say, 78, I'm sorry. I hate that. I hate that people would do that to you and to take advantage of you. It's a hurtful thing. It's hurtful to see us out here doing that stuff to each other and being weak. Stop being damn weak.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to be afraid of. If they ain't the Most High, we don't got nothing to be afraid of. Nothing.
Something on that's been said too, going back to what 78 was just saying about Ryan and about Devin and the whole thing about apologizing. There are just some things that are unforgivable. What Ryan said disrespectfully about the Floyd family, that right there was enough for me to be done with him. And I had put a post up on my community page when he said those words and how I felt about even a forthcoming apology that never came. There are some things that you don't accept, and there are some things you just don't. Remember, we are to look to our Creator as a guideline for how to be everything, but we are not our Creator.
Right.
And to be able to hold the grudge, because you understand the depth of where the hate comes from, those words that he spoke should haunt him the rest of his life, because coming from me, they do. And when I can see and look around in the sea of people who look like me, come from same environment like me, and all of that, and they have let that go, I can't explain to you how it makes me feel. But I can tell you, it's another reason why this show is being put up on my channel this evening.
Yes, sir.
Because if you don't think it's real for me, it can't get much realer.
Come on.
That is something that should have never been said, never been forgiven, and some actions still need to take place. And I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm invoking.
No, I heard exactly what you said.
You know, listen, hey, so be it. Because sometimes, if you ever, you know, brother Coach Hudson was talking about movies a moment ago. There's a movie with them people in it called Tombstone.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
And if you remember in that movie where they wasn't busting caps in people, they was taking that gun and going upside their head with it. And sometimes that's what people understand. Putting your foot in someone's behind is what people understand. And you got to do that.
And sometimes you gotta put belt to ass and then separate, because see a devil is a devil. And see, just think about when George Foreman saved Jim Lampley and Larry Merchant from getting their ass tore up. They were still, even after that, they were still devils. Even after that, they still were being racist till this day. They're still racist. So see, sometimes you gotta make them learn. See, if I was George, I would have stepped on out the way, and them grown men, they would have had to fend for themselves. I don't care nothing about them being old, because you know what, Foreman, rest in peace, is gone, and you still got Jim Lampley sitting up there being a racist piece of crap, and then you got a black man sitting next to him, Tarver. And he hyping it up to the point where Jim ain't even got to say nothing else. All he got to sit back and fold his arms and say, "Go ahead, boy. Go ahead. Keep going, because you're doing a better job than me and Larry ever could do. The way you critiquing your brother. See, this is the type of crap we got. So I can't even fight with my enemy. I got to deal with you first. See, if you just study, all these things start making sense. I used to ask all these questions when learning new things, like, well, why did Harriet Tubman say that, you know, sometimes she would have to go upside a brother or sister's head? And why did Nat Turner say that, you know, he had to take some of our own people out first because they didn't want to be free? I get it now. What we're dealing with is, like the general was saying, there are people who was with him at first, and the higher you all started to go up, when they saw that if they diverted from the straight path, that it would be more profitable to them. That's one of the oldest stories in the Bible.
Yes, sir.
And anytime a brother stands up for his people, every single time, he never finishes with the people he started with. Usually it's only one or two people that you start with that's still standing by you. Usually,
man, you ain't told no lies. And that's really the story of the devil.
Yep,
that's really the story of the devil. The devil broke off and did his own thing. Look, bro, me, the way I see it is like, you know, I don't want to dwell into it too much, but it was so many brothers that I had love for in the beginning that I consider friends. Now, mind you, I love boxing, but I'm not like boxing was my hobby. Watching boxing and reading up on boxing, that was my nerd activity. You know what I'm saying? And so when I came to YouTube, I was excited to talk to other people who I could talk to about boxing. Because in the streets, I can't talk to nobody about boxing because they're all casuals, and it's a stupid conversation talking to them. You know how I go.
Right.
You know, so when I come online, I'm like, man, these guys know boxing. You know, they really know boxing over here. But the thing is, what they did was, as soon as my channel started to grow, or I started to get a little clout, some respect from people, dudes switched out on me, bro. They just switched out. People who I fuck with heavy switched out on me, just like all together at the same time. So to the point where I started questioning myself. Is there something wrong with me? Am I doing something wrong? But it wasn't nothing wrong with me. The whole point was the internet, man, was popping at that time. YouTube had just started paying people. YouTube had just started paying people, getting AdSense money. And that's when everything changed, bro. Dudes started coming on here and just acting a fool about that money, man. I'm talking about, they'll tell me one thing on the phone. Hey, bro, look, man. One dude told me this. He said, look, hey, bro, look, I don't want you to be mad at me, bro. I'm finna start dissing you. I said, what?
Oh, man.
I said, what the fuck you talking about?
Yep.
He said, man, look. And I still got the messages from Facebook. I saved the screenshot. He said, look, no, I'm gonna start dissing you, bro, but it ain't personal. I just wanna look, man, because your name popping right now, bro. So it'd be cool if I start dissing you. It's gonna cause a beef, and people gonna choose my side or your side, and we both can make money. I said, bro, I'm not doing that bullshit. I said, no, bro, I'm not cool with that. He said, no, come on, man. I said, no, bro, listen, I'm not cool with that. Don't do that shit, bro. That's some whole ass shit. So he told me on the phone and on Facebook he wouldn't do it. 2 days later, nigga dissing me.
That's a true story, y'all. That's a true story.
Yeah.
Well, you know, General, if somebody's integrity is for sale, that makes them a whore.
Yeah.
So that speaks, you know, to their character. But I tell you, I was someone came to me and asked me to do the same thing, because at the time, now this was some years ago, do the same thing and basically slander Minister Farrakhan's name. And I said, I'm not going to do that, because I honor the minister, and your personal issues with him ain't got nothing to do with me. Now check this out. It's a good thing that I made that decision, because see, you never know how life is going to play out. Years later, I started training a woman's son. That woman is second in command of the MGT of the Nation of Islam. Wow. And I had no idea what his mama was until she wore her uniform one weekend, and we got to know each other more, and I found out who she was. See, you never know how these things gonna play out. And see, some of these guys, that's why they look crazy when they run into certain people, and you run into Wilder's camp at an event, and you've been talking trash, and now you got to stand on what you've been saying, because that those are things that are happening in the sport. See, people recognize you, and sometimes people are gonna make you stand on what you've been saying. And if you constantly on the wrong side, hey, what happens to you happens. But before I go, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. To these brothers that want to side with the racists, the world is changing, whether you want to believe it or not. Melanated people, the vibration that we are on, everyone can feel it. In Africa, before most colonial powers were kicked out of a lot of the countries in Africa, those colonial powers were so upset, they said, okay, we're going to leave, but before we leave, we are going to destroy the infrastructure. We are going to poison the water. We're going to tear up the railroads. We're going to make this thing deserted. And they did just that. That is why many great cities that are in Africa are destroyed now. It ain't that these Africans didn't have nothing. Everything was destroyed by these colonial powers that were kicked out. You boxers who are standing with these racists, let me tell you, when shit hits the fan and these people who are racist, who are elites in charge, when they're told that your old way is no longer going to work, the first people they're going to turn on and destroy is going to be you, black man, and you're going to deserve everything that happens to you. Stormy B, man, peace to you, brother. Peace to everybody on the panel. God bless the mighty LDBC. I'm out.
Hold on 1 second, Coach, before you go, because there's something I want to read to you and the rest of the panel in the chat, because I had a chance to go back and dig this up. When you talk about, when you say something, stand on it. It was 10 months ago that I posted this on my community page. You heard me speak in my last part of what I had to say about Ryan and the Floyd incident and what he said and how it's unacceptable. Mm-hmm. This is what I posted on my community page 10 months ago. I stated, personally, I don't/won't accept any apology by Ryan Garcia. His offenses have struck a chord of disrespect that there is no consideration of making amends. For too long, we have endured the very same, and it has gone unabated. It's to this thought process that offending with malicious intent, doing often irreparable damage, an apology may correct wrongful actions. To this, I say no. No longer shall we be forgiven, but forthrightly in dealing with imminent threats. Take this truth in all consideration. That was 10 months ago that I wrote that.
And you stood on it.
And I've stood on it, but today, again, I have to remind everyone, follow me. This is what I'm talking about. You see, 10 months ago, 2 months removed from a year. Why are we still having this conversation and no one has taken up the battle? I've done my part. Join me in arms. Salute to you, Coach Hudson. You're always welcome here, brother.
Salute, Coach.
Brother.
Yes, sir. Much love, bro.
Peace, family.
Peace.
Smile, Coach.
Peace.
Good. That's what it is, Stormy. You know, and yeah, I'm glad I needed this conversation tonight. I need this one. Cause I was feeling some type of way, bro. If y'all noticed, I haven't been going live in the morning the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I haven't been because my energy been low with this bull crap. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you gotta just take some time off to recharge your battery. And I need this conversation though for sure. And Charlo just ruined it too. When he came out with this fuck shit, I'm like, man, oh my god, bro. Here this motherfucker go. You know.
Sure.
But you know, it's cool because now I feel good. So tomorrow morning I'll be live. I'll be live at 10 Central Time, 11 Eastern Standard, after Drew, and, you know, and Cook, because I just need to take a break sometime. That's why sometimes I go to the park, go to the river, go to the lakes and ponds, just to clear my mind. Because this is it. The stuff we talking about, bro. It's not normal for people to endure this and accept it.
It's not.
You have to either be crazy or be extremely patient. So with me, in order to keep me from losing my mind and doing something goofy, I have to go to the park. I gotta switch my topics up and talk about some other shit, because if I keep talking about shit, I'm going, as a Gemini, I know me. I'm going to just act the fool, bro. Like, I'm just going to say fuck it and do something dumb, and people going to be like, put my face on a t-shirt and forget about me 2 years later. And I ain't going out like that, you know what I mean? So I got to take some time off sometime and just talk about different things, or maybe I'll do a short video, 3-4 minute video, and just get it off my chest, see what I got to say, upload it, boom, and chill out, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's what we gotta do sometime, man. Because it's just too stressful, bro. It's too stressful, man. You know.
I want to acknowledge another Cash App donation that came through by way of the sister Shaquila Fields. Thank you so much. She says for great content. You know, this show was not done content wise. As I stated many times over, and I don't know how early you joined us, Chiquila, I wanted to say this was a call to arms. This was a wake up call. You know, the film School Days, Spike Lee's film.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the movie, during all of the conflict that went on between the intercultural racism and everything, there was an alarm that went off very early in the morning that woke all the students up.
Yeah.
And Lawrence Fishburne's character was out there yelling as the alarm was going off like a church bell. Wake up. Wake up. And it rang and it rang and it resonated for about 5 minutes to that film's end. And as they all came outside of their dorms and everything, with sleep in their eyes and everything, as he continued to ring that bell, and he was telling everyone to wake up, wake up. And guess what that film was about? You just heard me use the term a moment ago: intercultural racism.
Mm-hmm.
Black skin, light skin.
That's right.
And I share that because there are some people that have forgotten the message. Some have not. Some haven't heard. This is why this stream is taking place today.
Yes, sir.
Wake up.
Yeah, I'm about to get up out of here too. I want to say one thing real quick before I get up out of here. Thank you, Stormy, for having us on here, and thank you for making the call for this show. This is definitely necessary and needed. I want to thank all your brothers and sisters on the panel. Thank Shaquita Field, salute to you. Tay, everybody was in the chat. Salute to all y'all. I'm going to specifically thank my sister Shawa. Now, you don't know this, sister, but in my house, you Storm. My babies call you Storm. You didn't know that. They call you Storm. You know what I'm saying? Because you wear your gray hair so proudly, and you such a soldier for the people. And I love you so much, sister. Thank you for everything for the mighty LPC. Appreciate you, Queen.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. I love you too, brother. You know that though.
Indeed.
Yeah, and we can get ready to wrap this up, family. I want to go around, and 78 just gave his final thoughts there. The brother Drew Titan, would you like to give your final thoughts as well?
Yeah, well, you already know what it is. I'm here for the cause. You know, I rushed home because you know what? You normally don't do things like this, and I said, you know what? This is dire. And you got to stop what you're doing. And
I appreciate that, brother, because you and I, we talk every day just about.
That's
and
right.
You know how my passion runs with this kind of thing. Absolutely. And it's always deeper than boxing. You know, I'm past getting offended when people say, "Oh, it's only boxing." No. It's only boxing until it's time to drag on what we take serious. And the thing is, to you knuckle draggers, you don't take it serious enough, and that's okay. Just stay the fuck away from me and stay out my way when I'm walking. Because I walk hard, like the movie Walk Hard. I walk hard. Stay the hell out the way. Get real and get your wig on the windshield. So you know what I'll be up here tomorrow morning. I'm gonna do a special Saturday live. I'm gonna dedicate it to the Charlo brothers. All right, because I'm done with them. And to the haters, you can find me on YouTube or at your mama house. And there it is. Appreciate you, brother, and thank you for taking that extra moment out to join. I really appreciate that.
Sure.
Hey, Drew, in your mama house. Not only is he in your mama house, he in the pantry, and he eating up all the fruit snacks for the grandbabies.
Oh yeah, them shit was crack.
Shower, please grace us with your final thoughts, and thank you for showing up and supporting as well, because you and I spoke earlier, and I had said that either it was going to be you or myself, but you see, I just picked on that initiative. That's and I said,
fine.
You know,
yeah,
do it. So
ahead. I'm gonna go out with something a little heavy. And I want to bring back up the whole Kyrie thing, and the fact that brother ended up having to, well, I'll say kowtow down to them people. And I want you all to understand that they want to see us do that. They want to see us publicly shame and bow down to them. And it pissed me off that he had to do that. But like 78 was saying about Bill, there's certain things that we got to do in order to move forward in this world. And I said something to you earlier, Stormy. I said that we are to be as wise as a serpent, but as harmless as a dove. But at this point, I do feel like we have been at war and we are at war, and this call to arms is absolutely necessary. There are a few, well, there's one scripture that I'm going to say, but I also want you guys to understand that the Most High told us that we have a perpetual enemy. It's been since time immemorial. It's not going to change. These people are confederate against us. The Bible talks about that. The last thing, like I said, I wanted to read a portion of a scripture, and this is out of Revelation 3, 15 and 16. I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I could wish that you were cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will vomit you out my mouth. That means do not straddle the fence. You take up a side.
Ooh, go ahead, sister.
With it.
Go ahead, sister.
We got to roll together. Not just us that have content that have a means. We all have a means to create content because we have channels. But even us that are in these chats, don't be in places where we shouldn't be. And if you are, you got to stand on business and say what is right and what is righteous and what is true. That's my only thing. I too stopped. After the last TO thing I did, I totally felt like I did not want to create no more content either. And when I did came back, I talked about that we were the ones that started the Memorial Day. I've had a mindset ever since that TO live, and I'm tired, just like Stormy. I'm tired. And I'm tired of seeing the bullcrap that's going on. I didn't even know about the Jamel thing, or Jamal, whatever, today, until you guys said something. And I was listening to it while we were live. He needs to be held accountable, and not just by content creators. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
Y'all be blessed. I love all
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thanks to my sister.
Yes, Queen.
Shower. Lady Storm in the building.
Yeah, so I want to thank everybody for participating on the panel. As said, salute to Coach Hudson, Black Martial Arts Society, my brother Focus Ball. There were some others that we had actually called to come and join that weren't able to join. And salute to Tay Jones, who showed up in the chat, and he said that he'd rather just kind of sit back there and take things in, because he felt like, he was at a great place, just soaking in the discussion. But we still gonna stick that gat in your armpit there, Tay. So be ready. You understand? Because you got that close tie to our good brother, the heavyweight champion. And listen, man, it ain't over. It ain't over. Well, it's the time to bear arms. This is what we got to do. And that whole thing about bearing arms is getting together, gathering up. During the movement back in the late 50s through the 60s, they would link arms and form a bond with one another and sing and have a sense of pride and show strength, not necessarily the physical strength, but that spiritual strength and the psychological strength, that when you're united, just like the 5 fingers on your hand, individually, they are articulate and they do things to help you maneuver, grasp, things of that nature, pinch, whatever. One alone can be broken and it's quite painful, but you combine them all and you can make a fist. When you make a fist, you can strike a blow. Just remember that. The unity of us all linking up like that, we form something that is totally strengthened and empowering.
Yes,
We
sir.
gotta have one another's back. We have one another's front. We gotta have one another, period. Because we can't make it individually. That's what people need to learn. And that's the message for this evening.
Yes, sir, brother.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining me on this. And go in peace. Much appreciated, everybody. Shout out to the mighty LDBC.
Peace
Big up,
out.
brother.
Blessings, y'all.
Peace.